We have our patient now in APRV, and how did I arrive at these settings? Notice I have the patient set on time high of 3.2, time low of 0.8. How did we arrive there? Well, it requested a respiratory rate of 15, so 60 divided by 15 gives us an RCT, right? Respiratory cycle time, or total cycle time of 4 seconds. And then we wanted an inverse ratio of 4 to 1. So if we want to know how much 1 is, if we divide that by total parts, so 4 plus 1 is 5, so 4 seconds divided by 5 gives us 0.8 seconds, which I set, and then 4 seconds minus 0.8, time at low, will leave us what time is we need at high, which is 3.2. And then notice I've set everything else as requested. And that is giving us a tidal volume of about 300. So remember, when we put patients in APRV, they typically have ARDS and have very non-compliant lungs. So if we were looking at our 5'10" male patient again, that means he's 75 kilos, and 4 mils per kg may be where we want. So 4 times 75 gives us 300. So we're right in the ballpark of what would be an appropriate tidal volume for this guy. And notice, interestingly enough, even though the compliance is 20, not very compliant, you can see the patient actually has enough time to breathe out completely to baseline. There's no auto peak there. On expiration, they get all the air out, come back to baseline before the next breath comes. So we might actually want to shorten in real life, we might actually decide to shorten that time low just a little more to try and get us back to some auto peak there. All right, the next thing, so take your basal measurements, and the most important thing here, we're in pressure ventilation, so our most important thing, notice our mean is 18, and our tidal volume right around 300. So what's going to happen when we increase compliance to 30, like it says? Well, what would we expect? We're in pressure ventilation, compliance improves. We're expecting an improved volume, right? And we can see on the first breath after increased volume, compliance, we can see our pressures are still obviously 21. We're getting the overshoot of 1 above our P high. But our mean should fall off. The mean will not change, sorry. I was thinking ahead to changing, if we change the IE ratio based on improved compliance, then that would change. But what has changed? Our tidal volume. Our tidal volume has gone from 4 mils per kg up to about 6 mils per kg, around 450. So then we have to decide, is that good or is it bad? Is this something that we're happy with, or, you know, patients improved and they're getting more volume? That's okay. Well, what's happened to CO2, right? Our minute ventilation has just gone up by a third, so our CO2 we expect to go down by a third. So we need to monitor things carefully. Well, the next thing it's requested is to trigger the vent at a rate of 30. So I'm going to try and do that. One of the things you may notice on this ventilator is that it is completely asynchronous. No matter how much effort the patient makes, they can't trigger a breath. See that deep dive there on the bottom? Okay, I got a little too fast now. I'll try and get it down to 30. Notice there's no pressure support setting. 55. As you can see, I tried to breathe down there, nothing happened. Up top, I can breathe, but there's no pressure support. Just when the patient breathes out, that recoil causes the pressure to go higher. See there, I'm down to a rate of 30. This one is the running average, but the other one's down to a rate of 30. See the asynchrony there? I'm working hard to get these volumes because there's no my volumes, 160, 300, but I'm working hard for those volumes. That's the way APRV works on this fan.